Hello, dear viewers and listeners. We are going to discuss about the most controversial topic that has been going viral not only in our country, Kenya, but globally, and that is LGBTQ. And therefore, we shall be diving into this conversation with our two panelists, who are none other than...
I am Jason Goizumi.
And...
I am Casey Mudoni.
Yes, so Casey and Joyce and I shall be diving directly into this conversation. And therefore, I would like us to talk about what we know. First of all, we would like to know what is LGBTQ. And I'll get this response from both of them. Let me begin with Madam Joyce.
So LGBTQ stands for lesbians, bisexuals, queers, transgenders, and gays, yes.
Wow. So you've mentioned some term they are called queers. Maybe yes. I'll get it from Casey. What is the meaning of this term called queer?
For me, the term queer means a person who doesn't really know what they really want. Like, they don't know their sexuality. They don't know whether they want to date boys or girls. They're just there.
Wow. This is interesting, ladies and gentlemen, and you can hear from them. These are really brilliant ladies, and we're going to dive into this together with them. Now, let me begin with asking this question. What do you have to say about LGBTQ? The same question, Casey will have to respond to it.
Personally, I am against LGBTQ. I am anti-LGBTQ. I don't support it at all. And I don't think people should support LGBTQ. Yes.
Wow. That's amazing. Casey, what do you have to say about LGBTQ?
For me, I'm a supporter of LGBTQ. That means I'm not homophobic. I'm not in the LGBTQ, but I'm simply not homophobic. I don't judge. Yeah.
So you don't judge?
Yeah.
Wow. It's getting hot and hotter, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear from Joyce. She is against the LGBTQ factor. And to Casey, she's really into this idea, saying that she doesn't judge. Therefore, it means that every one of us have to make their own decision. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
All right. So right about now, the next question that I'm going to ask them, ladies and gentlemen, is that you've said you're against LGBTQ.
Strongly
against LGBTQ.
Yes.
So you're a staunch belief of not having LGBTQ going on.
Yes.
Wow. So tell us something. Why are you against LGBTQ?
The reason why I am so against LGBTQ is when you were born, everyone at birth was assigned their specific gender. And as science or even those who are believers know, you're supposed to be attracted to the opposite sex. Nothing apart from that, no options. If you're a boy, go to a girl. Don't think about boys. If you're a girl, think about boys, not girls. And don't go both ways. That's just messed up.
Wow.
Yes.
You've heard it from her side, and maybe let me hear from your side. You've said that you support this and you don't judge. Maybe let's hear from you. What's your version of making judgment?
For me, I would not judge an LGBTQ because if I was to ask you, a transgender is a person who has both parts. He has the female parts and the male parts. If I was to ask you, who would you tell the transgender to go date?
Okay.
He has both parts.
Oh, he has both parts. So this
He
is
or
a
she, like,
transgender.
they, them.
Is a
Yeah.
transgender. Okay, as I know, first of all, you have to maybe to the level of accepting yourself. You have to first of all accepting yourself. Then you go to that level of making sure you must go for some medication and know that am I this way, and in what perspective am I allowed to function. Maybe from that perspective, then you allow or you accept yourself. Then I'll support that.
No, but simply just tell me one thing. Who does a transgender have to date? Like, it's a transgender. Tell they to date a boy or a girl. You can tell them.
Let me explain to you.
It's getting hotter, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get it on.
Transgender has both parts, right?
Yeah.
But not both parts work functionally. One has to be dysfunctional. No, they don't have
Let
to.
me tell you, there's okay, I'm a fan of TikTok, and I know some people, like there's a okay, it's a they them, like he has all the parts and they are both functional, and okay, let me call him they. He has a baby and he's still breastfeeding, and even the male parts, it's functional. What do you say about that?
That person should cut something off. Cut something
No,
off
you
the-
see, if that person was a baby, maybe then they would have maybe cut some of the organs, maybe the male parts. Now he has all of them.
But personally, I don't think that should give that person an excuse to choose both sides or either side. That person should, if that person believes that, let's say he has both the sexual parts, but in his heart, he believes that he is attracted to girls, that person should get rid of the other sexual part and stick to girls.
But let me tell you, see, like when you're just grown
Okay.
up, it's so hard, it's so difficult to eliminate some parts. It will cause you like health issues.
Wow. So let
And
me
you may die.
allow me cut you guys short. So you're supporting LGBTQ in the sense that you are in the side of not making judgments depending on somebody's sexuality, all right?
Yeah.
So you've talked about the transgender, and it was a raised argument that was going on, and it was getting hot and ordered, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, before we continue, this is African Motives Media. Continue following us, and we need your comments on this. Get us on Twitter, get us on get us on Instagram, and get us follow us on YouTube, where we shall be airing and sharing all this. We want to get your views about LGBTQ before we continue. So right about now, ladies who are right here, you are supporting, you are against this. I don't know whether you are really keen about the Supreme Court judgment about the LGBTQ, and I think some of Kenyans, or rather some of us, have gone to an extent of maybe the miscommunication has really spread to a certain level that we fail to understand why this thing was passed on as a bill. And remember, when they were going to do this, I think LGBTQ was passed on at the Supreme Court to allow those people who fall under this factor of LGBTQ to form associations. And you know very well that anything that must have, or rather must grow, must have a beginning, must have a root. So what do you say about this judgment that was made by the Supreme Court? And remember, there is one of the prominent leaders from the United States who really stepped in and talked about this. And you can remember all the processes that followed. What do you have to say about this as far as the country is concerned? Now let us put it from that angle. As far as the country is concerned, figure about all the people that fall under the country of Kenya. Is that okay with us? So maybe I'll start with Casey this time round. What do you have to say about it?
Okay, for me, I would support the Supreme Court judging, truly. It doesn't matter whether the Americans were involved or they have anything to do with it, so that it was passed as an NGO. Actually, for me, it has nothing to do with that, whether it was involved or not. The fact that it was registered as an NGO, and whether it was not registered or not, these people, the LGBTQ people, are still here with us, even before they were there. So, and even if it didn't pass, these people are still here, and they are here. And there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. We're coming back to that. What do you have to say about it?
Personally, I think it is a mistake to pass that as the court ruling, to pass the LGBTQ community and to allow them to form associations, because let me just speak facts. We are a third world country. We have a lot to develop, and LGBTQ shouldn't be among them. We are supposed to focus on more pressing matters, like the infrastructure, our poor infrastructure, instead of focusing about people who are not sure what they want about their sexuality. These people should go to peer counseling and figure out what they really want.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, as I told you before that this one is a very controversial topic and it's getting hot and hotter. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we should be getting to maybe rush up so that we get this concluded. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, as I said before, this is none other than African Motives Media. Continue following us on our social media platforms so that we may see your idea about this. So you've said about that you really support the Supreme Court concerning the judgment that was made,
Yeah.
right? And you've said that you are really against this and they should look for somehow therapy.
Yes.
So it needs some sense of therapy in it.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. And I think it shall be continued if there need be. And therefore, we say bye and we still want to see your responses concerning this. And remember, we were none other than
Casey Mudhoni.
Jay Sangoi.
and I, Elifet Oma. Goodbye.